First Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater gameplay revealed in new trailer. Today's Xbox Partner Preview brought us a new look at Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, the remake announced earlier this year. In the trailer, we get a first look at the game's use of Unreal Engine 5 alongside some quick snippets of tactical espionage action. While what's shown is definitely gameplay, it doesn't appear to be final as the trailer calls it the first in-engine look. Plus, the gameplay is watermarked with a pre-alpha footage tag. As you can see in the trailer above, we see Big Boss sneaking through jungles, over wooden bridges, through World War II-esque trenches, and more. There's nothing pointing toward the game's story in this trailer, but it does make one thing clear. This remake is going to be beautiful if today's showing is any indication. And the gameplay looks solid and intact, exactly what you'd imagine a 2023 remake of this 2004 classic would look like. Revealed back in May, coincidentally during a PlayStation showcase, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is a from the ground up remake of the third Metal Gear Solid game originally released in 2004. Like the original, this remake is a 1960s era prequel to the Metal Gear series that tells the origin story of Big Boss. As such, it serves as a foundational narrative to the wider Metal Gear universe. For more Metal Gear, check out Game Informer's Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, PlayStation 5 new gameplay today. Are you excited for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater?
I will admit this not as much. I'm more excited towards seeing I would like to say this though. I would rather see a remake of the first Metal Gear Solid game of its for the PS5 style type of graphics, like we were promised back in our podcast back in 2020. Remember that time I told you, or we told the audience that they're supposed to have like a remake of the first Metal Gear Solid game. So
Oh
what happened to
yeah, I
that?
forgot. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I was like, what? I'm not saying Metal Gear Solid 3, don't get me wrong, or a remake of all three, personally, Metal Gear Solid games, but why not the first Metal Gear Solid game? That's supposed to be the first one, supposed to be like the biggest one of all, because that's the one that kind of jumpstart the Metal Gear franchise into call it Metal Gear Solid, and as well as making it more popularized for modern for the today's world, For the last 30 years, 25 years now, if it was for the Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear would not be as well mentioned like it is now. It's just no way. Yes, Metal Gear Solid 3 kind of takes the cake, of course, too, but it's just, it lasts, it's a lackluster, in my opinion, of having Metal Gear Solid 3 as the first remake of the Metal Gear Solid games. Of course, yeah, we had Twin Snakes for the GameCube and all, but still, that's back then. That's like 2003, 2004.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so and it's now 2023. We were expecting the Metal Gear Solid 1 remake, as planned or as promised or as mentioned by Konami or whoever it was at the time. Kojima didn't have no say in it, so it was all Konami saying this stuff. So
Yeah. Well, the Twin Snakes, like I said, that was different because it took the Metal Gear Solid 1 story and paired it with Metal Gear Solid 2 gameplay.
mm-hmm.
That was the story behind the Twin Snakes. That's why it was called the Twin Snakes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I do remember there supposedly being supposed to be a remake of the original Metal Gear Solid. I'm guessing it got canceled. I'll look it up, see if I can find anything about it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I do remember talking about it briefly, and then it just like disappeared from. It just disappeared. Like it. Let's see. Is Metal Gear Solid getting a remake? Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Um, why are they remaking 3 and not 1? Konami chose 3 to remake because it's the birth of Big Boss, but how good is 3 as a starting point for newcomers to the Metal Gear series? IGN posted an interview they had with Konami about the Metal Gear Solid 3 remaster, and they stated with 3 because of the aforementioned reason, because it's the birth of Big Boss. So I'm guessing they either canceled or they're delaying Metal Gear Solid's 1 remake until 3 is made because it takes time. It takes it's because it's the first part. It's the first part of the Metal Gear Solid timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Obviously, yeah, I should have thought about that.
yeah, why hasn't Metal Gear Solid been remade? The short answer is Konami. Hideo Kojima wanted 4 to be the end of his story, but Konami wanted to make more money. So even though Metal Gear's creator wanted to move on to other projects, Konami basically said no, make another Metal Gear. Um, is Metal Gear Solid coming to PS5? No, they just talk about Master Collection. Is Metal Gear 1 being remastered? But moments later, Konami also lists, which is a okay. So like, I can't find anything about the first Metal Gear Solid. Is the Metal Gear Solid remake canceled? It's quite possible Metal Gear Solid remake did enter production and was subsequently canceled by Konami in 2019. Former developer on the Metal Gear series, Ikuya Nakamura, has put out several tweets regarding an unannounced and previously secret project at Konami. So it might have been canceled, the one that we heard about.
But you said 2019 that was canceled. So we had our first few podcasts in 2020. So what happened to the communication at the time? I don't understand that.
I don't know. But like I said, they're probably delaying it. They probably want to do the games in chronological order to get new fans caught up. That's the only thing
All
I
right,
could. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
I see
A-
what they mean.
Again,
Okay,
it's all speculation, so this is just a guess. But
yeah,
I'm saying, yeah, if they're probably going to do Metal Gear Solid in chronological order, and if they do that, Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 are going to be near the end of the timeline. The only game coming after them is 4.
don't forget about Peace Walker as well. If we want to include the side, this
I
the
think Peace Walker took place like in the 70s.
yep,
Yes, so and Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 4 were current day, so
yeah.
well current day
That's
when they
what
came out. So
that's Volume One coming out already for this month.
yeah, so I mean they it's if it's gonna come out, it looks like they're heading towards chronological order for the games and they want to release them in the timeline that the games take place in.
Of course.